the only boss with one S. Happy new month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of Tap Send. People, Tap Send is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana. If you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download Tap Send on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on Tap Send.
Tap Send. Send more, spend less.
Welcome to Second Generation IT Group. Hello, my name is Ferdinand Asamoah, Director of Second Generation IT Group. We've been in business for the past 5 years, and we have a lot of clients who have come through the school and they're doing pretty well. We offer 18 weeks of cyber course, which runs for every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And people ask, why Second Generation IT Group? Yeah, we offer different courses in cyber. Cyber is kind of big, so we offer risk management, we offer FISCOM, we offer cloud computing, we offer pen testing, and we also offer Splunk. Courses are offered virtually. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can just join the course without any. It's very convenient for everybody. You can reach us on our social media. You can reach us on Facebook, you can reach us on Instagram, and you can also reach us on our website, which is secondgenerationitgroup.llc.com, the company that provides beyond excellence.
Are you a Ghanaian living abroad, and are you having problems running errands in Ghana? Don't worry anymore. Somafour is a mobile app that enables you to run errands in Ghana in a safe, affordable, and fast way. Our services are caring and assistance services. We'll visit your elderly relatives and connect them to needed health care. Errand services will buy and send groceries, birthday cakes, supplies to homes, offices, and schools. Confirmation services will provide third-party confirmation video for contractors' work, and personal representation services will represent you at functions such as funerals and marriages. Download the Somafour app on Google and iOS stores and enjoy the convenience of running errands in Ghana at your fingertips. Somafour, send your love home.
All right, Ebusia for me more about SBTV Africa. So when you say about the social issues, entertainment, and sports at SBTV Africa. Time so when you say Fridays biano Lawyer Wisdom Akaho solicitor UK busy with London the office no just around the Dawson Market Fridays biana last week no say you will do sheda anye ni nti wentimi amba nti this week ne oba be kan ensa na na ebehwe se na be ya say wow Britain citizen akola no outside UK obetimi apply for passport amano nsa be kan nti wow akola outside UK opese apply for passport emano nti me lawyer Wisdom Akawo eba be join here obetimi the questions aba comment section obetimi the aba sa fe we ni abo e channel no so a me subscribe no so na notification bell no was na ya make no the videos ba obenya alert and also join here for adwin chirebra comment section for adwin chirebra and our question bi apesa obisa na bia so a so untimi type ya voice note bra Aisha intimi amba enra inti nyame aduma next week no oba be kan sa inti obetimi the questions about obetimi by voice note time no so 6 na ma voice note no obesa type so a na wa type e di aba inti me train lawyer SBTV Africa, the voice of the community, FM DJ Nyame. Na me say me the way to that. Me next segment I me dey ba. Me ni abroche fo akasa nti say hwe uni mo bi a ono so outside our abroche ba wa be bezi wo Ghana we be business bi wo ha ne ade a SBTV Africa e pese e ko sra no ai It will be a building, will be a company, be an answer, be a bagana, be invest business, be a Ghana, say, or be invested with Hana. A next segment, a bano. A beco di pano, Sani pano, dear, from the number mammy, or me WhatsApp number, so for me na, Meko, a becon horn, and Nakudin common, a share business to say, then all any idea, all those things, you know. Ibidin komo so SBTV Africa. So it next segment I made banana makano. So nima o abroche no be business for Ghana ha. E be say hwese business na cost saying. Aha, ti be bia wo bia no o de send nipa no contact na ya arrangement ye ne be hyehyɛ ho na ya pet time na ya kɔ hɔ na ya kɔ sra no na ye na ahwɛ business no say cost saying. Aha, and so daily hustle no GH na na ye ba no. Okay, Tony Boateng says, I'm Tony from Kumasi Airport. I love how you educate us, DJ. Big shout out to you, Tony Boateng, for joining us. I'm share link, you know. So about life there. Men can say found. She be free. I say, send a bell bit me a catch lobby. I got you with as a program, so be say no. Maybe now because I'm petty, but I'll connection. I'll do this, obey. But feel like so near Hano on pay. Okay. Yeah. Oh no, me I don't like this. Obakutia say make the do connection for him. But we the teachers in it, bro. Free our own tiashi. And see very educative. So they say any UK crown poor with the TB and picking the frame. And to share link, you know, my friends and not on major here. Derek Azua. Derek Izua. Izua. He said I'm 25-year-old in the UK. My dad is a citizen, but I'm not. Can he file for me now? Okay, also the question about baby sir. Diva says, I love your program. Nice one, Diva. Thanks for joining us. Me train lawyer. Na lawyer I'm the kind. So me say share. Oh, share me sra. Oh, what me a? Oh, link na se no. Share. Ebe call share na ebe call WhatsApp so Facebook so do the share. My friends say be join. Mo fa mo questions simbra. Lawyer ba be come inside e bisa the questions. Enti Derek, o question no me the better lawyer nim na we be sat mo fa questions say but me type ya mama another way me number na whole screen so you see I know they send it voice note oh yeah voice to short one oh we be a lawyer say pa near simple cra enti lawyer about there I mean welcome here Bosu
yes
okay.
Hello say
hello me who ya pa lawyer me who ya na also
oh Jana do say them when you fine
last week in the house wa coil
last week now just now I'm going to hear but they ready to say that's one community that's the most important
oh nice one last week yeah me say when you want to join here and I go straight as I want you there lawyer be kan answer no time to waste lawyer how say na you share then you share say what we buy a British citizen, but who person apply for passport to man, but or outside UK, outside the UK, yes sir.
Yes it's here for Yamamo they'll be asked. Now the question is how a British citizen can apply for a British passport for their child born outside the UK. And the young man is who did we are a British citizen who UK and who call Ghana and who call Shia or baby and now we didn't put Ghana and who call here and who call so yeah with your banner because we are British citizen and we banner as I said or yeah British automatically. But there are some conditions which we have to apply. And see, the first one is that British citizenship now, Ukraine, it should be not from descent. And the one, we are British, who are UK, who are Ghana, but not who are British passport, and Sana, who Ubana. In that case, Ubano are British automatically. Now, say, Ukra indefinite, and then Ubano, Ghana, Ubano, Onye British citizen. Let's see Subium. So ukra indefinite leave to remain. Wawu ubano onye British citizen. So outside. But so ukra British passport. And sana ubano anywhere in the world that ubano automatically or a British citizen.
Oh.
Yes. So how can you prove? Number one, so we share the British Nationality Act of 1981, Section 2. A honor and a abufrani status at the time of birth. So any papa and any mame a British citizen at the time of their birth outside the UK. See, what it shows is first, and so just the father or the mother is a British citizen other than by descent. In other words, say me a British, and I'm a me bano, I'm a bano to or a British. So on no, echo wo Ghana, sa on no libano or a British automatically.
Hey, Chamubium.
Yeah. So say me wo ba ewo krom ha. Na me bano to a British. Na ono echo outside UK. Me bano me nana no or a British automatically.
Wow.
Yeah. But that means me British citizen through naturalization. And yes, I mean from my papa and I'm mammy. But me and Kasa na me tina krum ha. And I mean naturalize here. My papa swear. Send me a British citizen. Now say me who outside the UK, me bano or a British citizen. I'm a bit confusing to me sense to you. Number one, say me am a British citizen through me papa and I'm mammy. Now me makowo or outside the UK. Me bano or yeah, on your British because I got my British citizenship by descent. But if I got it through naturalization, me and I may 10 years and not 20 years. I am indefinite. I got a British citizenship. Not a fair no makako swear that may a subject of the Queen. Not me who are outside the UK. Me ban a British citizen. It is very confusing. So I'm a banner. The reason here, we understand, and it's if I am a British by descent and me who are outside the UK, now me see me banner to British. Or not to who are, because I banner to British. Me banner, or not to banner because of British. Or not to banner because of British. And it keeps going on and on and on. So maybe in 100 years' time, I will probably say I am a British citizen because my great-great-grandfather is a British citizen. I'm and until there's a cut-off point. And to say, if you're a British citizen by descent, it gets to a point, so who are outside the UK, you have to register that child as a British citizen. At least they have a reference point. And yes, sir, it will keep going on and on and on and on. 70 years, 80 years, 100 years, 120 years. Somebody will come and say, my great-great-great-great-grandfather was a British citizen and therefore I'm a British citizen. They don't want it that way. So there has to be a cut-off point, but you can register the child as a British citizen. Let me take my time and go through. Under Section 2 of the British Nationality Act, a person who is born outside the UK will be a British citizen if the father or the mother was a British at the time of their birth, other than by descent. They became a British other than by descent. And then I'm explaining that one now we have British citizenship, and now we pass it on to Uba outside the UK. And yes, so we from you papa and now mommy, and then I'm passing it on to your child. That would not apply. So that is number one. Number two, as I said, the child must be born outside the UK. The child must be born outside the UK. So what we find with UK, at the end there's no problem because there's no big deal about that. But the child must be born outside outside the UK. And then you have to show where the child was born with the birth certificate, showing the date of birth, place of birth, the doctor probably that signed the birth, etc., etc., to show that Abofre was born outside the UK. And you also have to show, the father or the mother was a British citizen before the child was born outside the UK. Before the child was born, not after the child was born, but before the child was born outside the UK. And so some would ni papa anane mame registration certificate, naturalization certificate, and then I would say the parent was a British at the time the child was born. Application form biwo. Remember, Sabufani is already British. The child is already British. But how do you prove it? I know now, remember some documents now over here too. And then when you have documents, we are answer no wako application form this. It's a way no, and you are saying that you visa application, say me ya visa application, mama, but wako chance it is waste of money because your child is already a British citizen. You don't have to go and apply for visa for the child. The child is already a British citizen. So how do you get the British passport for the child? These are the documents you need. Number one, as a said, you were in Ghana at the time the woman became pregnant. In other words, you made the woman pregnant. And now, you have to show that you were in Ghana at the time your husband was in Ghana at the time you went to Ghana for the pregnancy. You got to conceive, that is one. But may you use the example of the man in this case. And so you were in Ghana to impregnate the woman, that is one. How do you prove? As I said, we deal with passport copies. Actually, it's a stamp, visa stamp, or visa, Ghana visa, or British passport. No. And so somebody would tickets. I just work for Ghana. You were in Ghana at the time. And she said, Obano, and 9 months before she gave birth, you have to show that 9 months ago you were in Ghana. Where is the proof that you were in Ghana or you were in Nigeria or you were in any other country at the time the woman got pregnant? If you cannot prove that you were in Ghana, if you cannot prove that you were there at the time of the conception, at the time of the pregnancy, then you cannot prove that you are the father of the child. There may be another way, I'll come to that. Number two, as I said, if you don't have your travel ticket or you have lost your passport, which shows that now we are Ghana at the time of the conception, then we bet me a DNA. Because the DNA will confirm that you are the father of this child. So please bear that in mind. It's either DNA or evidence to show that you were in Ghana at the time of the pregnancy. You have to show this. If you don't show that, you haven't proved or you can't prove that you were actually in Ghana or the child is your child. That will be a difficulty for you. As I said, which evidence of pictures. Even before the pictures, you have to show that at the time of the pregnancy, or hospital, in Ghana when you were there. And so you need evidence from maybe the Pro Visa Hospital, Kolibu Hospital, Kumasi, G. It shows that this woman has registered and your name is at the hospital as the father of the child. So that is very important. As I said, we trace that evidence. No. Once it becomes difficult. As I said, with the antenatal records, the Mameno all hospital for maternity treatment, your name will have to be on the records. You have to prove that your name is on the records as the father of the child and now the father of the children. You have to prove all that evidence. You have to show that receipt of payment of money to the hospital. Because hospital you pay, Obaniko hospital she pays, they issue her receipt. You have to prove all of that. Even though your name may not be on those receipts, the woman still has to provide those evidence. Now, you also have to prove Sika Woody money or Bano for her to go to the hospital or for the maternity home. You have to provide all of those evidence. That is what to show that you have been involved in the pregnancy and also through looking after the child up until the decision, until the decision before you made the application and ultimately the decision is made. You have so number three, you have to show your boarding pass, your boarding ticket, all those things. Very important, very very important. Then I go back to the hospital one. You have to go to ABA receipts from. I mean, in Ghana, we don't normally take receipts for when we are going to when we take cars or we take trotro or anything like that. You don't prove these receipts, but if you can get those receipts, etc., you can add it to it. You have to show any laboratories, any lab tests, any lab tests, all the lab tests from one hospital to another hospital, the scans, you have to show all those receipts, all those lab receipts, you have to provide them. And of course, you have to show remittances. Remittances. You send them can money transfer to the woman or the child's upkeep for her own upkeep until the child was born. You have to show all of that. Then, after the child is born, you have to provide the birth certificate. As I said, within a work birth certificate, no so. As I said, within a work the birth certificate, no so. So within any one, of course, the DNA can prove that you are the father of the child, but it is best to have your name on the child's birth certificate. Also, you need to provide the booklet. Your friend, I think your friend again. Is it the
Weighing card.
weighing card? Thank you very much. And have your friend a red book, but Ghana is called a weighing card. I want to draw lines. We will move. I will finally weight. The first week, second week, 1 month, any Sunday, you have to provide the weighing card. I just say I'm packed. Your name is on the weighing card as the father. You provide all of those evidence as proof that you are the father of the child. Very, very important. Antenatal records, weighing cards, birth certificate, you are the father of the. We agree that the child is a British citizen, but these are the things as I said would count before you can make a successful application for your child. So above the school going age, as I said, the school report. The school report. I said within a school host, you are the father of this child or this children. It is very, very important. So almost any school report, please add it to it to show that you are in touch with the schools, and of course the schools are also in touch with you. So school fees are with you, school reports, all of those ones, as I said, with the account as evidence of your involvement in the child's life. So that is very, very important. So school reports, school fees are with you, school receipts, letter from the schools. I say yes. Who on their record as the father of these children, another father of this child, now and also with the account as evidence of the school, your involvement in the children's school life. As I told you, school no email. As I told you, the headmaster's full name. You can get a letter I have mentioned already with the headmaster's details on it and attach it to the application, and it will be decided, and it will be very, very important. Another thing is pictures, pictures, pictures. As I told you, some now you now but sometimes, genuinely, now wouldn't know at the time of the child's birth. But if you want pictures, I said you have been involved in the child's life throughout every stage of the child's life, from baby, toddler, all the way through up until you make the application. You need pictures. Now, to be honest with you, mama no nyame ye no kura no wan kan kiro DJ Nyame, wuna wune abofra papa. Into wunem maybe after 2-3 years and sana obano airbox. Now in that case, you would not have the baby pictures because she never told you from the beginning that you are the father of this child. So you would not have the baby pictures. But once you are informed and once you are involved, start adding pictures or start taking pictures to show that you have been involved in the child's life throughout. So pictures from different stages of the child's life, different stages of the child's life. Sometimes, and my mom, we don't like taking pictures, but that is no excuse. Now that I am saying it, please, if you are in such a situation, kindly start taking pictures. Anytime you get opportunity to be with your child, take pictures. These days, social media are yet very, very useful. And the area we have FaceTime and you can take screenshots of all of those with yourself showing, the child showing, the mother showing. You can take screenshots of FaceTime and all of those will be very helpful. WhatsApp messages of yourself to the woman about the child. All these ones you can take screenshots and also add as part of the process you are involved in the child's life. So all in all, you need to provide evidence. What they want to see is your involvement, first of all, the relationship and your involvement in the child's life as the father of this child. Another thing you can add is, well, I've mentioned that already, is if you can get a hospital report, a letter, proper letter from the hospital, categorically stating that, yes, although you were not here, but the mother has been here, and your involvement is known to the hospital, that can also be very, very helpful in the situation of the application. So that is also that aspect. So, all in all, these are the documentations that you can use to prove the application. When you start documents in the area, after now we'll call the application form. So the question is, what application form can you use to submit this application for your child? And yet, the normal online application that will be here. There is a special application form called Form OS. O for orange, S for sugar, or O for Oscar, S for sugar. Form OS. And no, O stands for overseas passport, because the child, remember, the child is overseas. The child is not in the UK. The child is overseas. So you use the overseas passport application form, Form OS. Now, why use it? It is a 4-page form. It's a very simple form. You can use that. So I will quickly just scan through the form for you. We have Form OS, we have Section 1, Section 2, all the way through to Section 10. Section 1, no, actually about the category under which you are applying. So if it is the first passport of the child, as I would take it, it is a child first passport. Then you go to Section 2. The Section 2 is who is the passport for, and the Abofrane details, and Ebeko Section 2. Or you're Mr., Miss, or any other title, you have to take that. The surname, Ebeba first, not the first name, Abba. Surname first, and middle name before the surname first, and then the first and middle names will follow after that. From there, country or and in the address, memfa address I was to enter so as I said, Abofran with the Abofran one, a honor and the house address, Ebeba sa form so. Now, telephone number, of course, Abofran telephone number, and now Nemami telephone number, the date of birth, and also Ebeba sa form so. Your email address, you can use your email address because you want to receive the information on behalf of your spouse or of the child. So in this case, you can use your email address. And then your telephone number, not telephone address, but your telephone number and email address, that's what I meant, will come on. You see what? Then the next section is Section 3. Section 3, you know, about have you had or been included in any sort of passport at all? So, abofrano, why your Ghana passport a mana as a set with the details no issue. Or Ghana passport, you have to put the details there. Now, the reason why they want to see the child's Ghana passport in support of the application is that they don't want, say, abofrano, hey, dear, Ghana passport, open Kofi Mensa. Now, so British passport is your friend Kofi Ando. No, they want the child to have the same name in the Ghana passport as it will be in the British passport. So they cannot have different names. It has to be the same name in the Ghana passport as well as in the British passport if they are going to issue the passport to the child. So that is that aspect as well. So if the child has had any passport before, you have to include the details of that passport. Now you cannot post a passport and until you have to make photocopy from page 1 to the very last page of that passport. Now with the application. Abofrane Mamensu, so our passport, they want to see all the passports the child's mother has had. You have to add it to the application. Ni Papansu, all the passports he has had or held before. You need to add all your passports, your British passport, your Ghana passport. You have to add all of that with the application to the application center. Then from there, we go to, well, if the passport is lost or stolen, you have to state it on the section 3 of the application form. Then from there, you go to the parents' details. So, ni Papa Ding, first name, middle name, surname. Ni Mami Ding, first name, middle name, surname. That will be on the application form as well. On the date of birth, if they have had any nationality before, you also have to state that yes, they have other nationalities. Maybe they are Ghanaians, they are Ghanaians as well, they are British, or they are from any other country. You have to add that information as well. So the parent details will also go to section 4 of the application form. Then you have to go to section 5. Section 5 is if the child has any certificate of naturalization or registration, you have to add that. Naturalization certificate needs to say, dear abofrano, who will know krumha, and I would in and then later you register the child. But that is not what we are talking about today. What we are talking about is the child was born outside the UK. So in that case, they will not have a naturalization or registration certificate. Now, section 6, if the child has been, if the child is between 12 to 15 years, if the child is between 12 to 15 years, then the child will have to sign the passport themselves. If the child is between 12 to 15 years, then they have to sign that passport application form themselves. But if the child is below 12 years, then their father or their mother will have to sign on their behalf. So that is what is required on this application form. Section 7 is pretty straightforward. Section 8 is if you have any additional information you think that the passport office should take note of, then of course you can put that in the section 8 side. Then from there you go to section 9. Section 9 is if the child is under 16, then of course their parents can sign. If the child is under 12, I'm sorry, the parents can sign on the child's behalf. Then section 10, that is where the counter signatory comes in. Counter signatory near Ubia, obetimi edi ho dance yese ampa abofrey menim ni papa anam ni abofrey ebia obemi school or your student school and a hospital, a doctor, a nurse, a head teacher, a headmaster can confirm say ampa this child, I know the child or I know the child's parents. Now omodi asusu. Now if all of this is completed, then you post the form to the appropriate place where they will make the decision with all the supporting documents. Now Mabubo so no. And see, I'll just quickly go over the list again. The birth certificate, you can add dedication certificate, AB and normal dedication certificate, you can add that. You can add the end of term progress assessment, school certificate, school assessment, school report, receipts showing payment of school fees and stationery, AB WhatsApp, books, pens, pencil, and stuff for Abufrano. You can add all those receipts as evidence. Receipts of clinic visits and maternity attendance, receipts, payment in the hospital, all of those ones, you can add it as well as proof of your involvement in the child's life. Receipts from specialist hospital, if the woman had to go for any specialist treatment, you can add all of those to it. And then, of course, DNA, health reports, you can add all of this to the application. Now, if you can do this, then the next thing is the decision makers would very likely invite you to come for interview. A friend was saying, in London here, they will invite you to come for interview at Victoria. That is where the passport office is. Or another section, if you are not in London, you go to Victoria. Then they will interview you to be sure say Ampa. So of course they are going to ask you questions about when you were in Ghana, when the woman got pregnant, how you've been involved in the child's life, what are the evidence that you've been involved, the money transfer, etc., etc. They can ask you whether you have been married before, whether you are divorced, what were the circumstances under which you met this woman, etc. They just want to be sure that you are the actual father of the child. Because if you have a British passport, it is like you have got a bus pass to the world. Because with British passport, you can go to America, you can go to Canada, you can go to Australia, you can travel to many countries without visa. So they want to be sure that Abufana, any British passport, the child is entitled to it. And once they get it, they have like bus pass or Oyster card to the rest of the world. So they will scrutinize and make sure that the passport comes to the right person. It doesn't mean they don't want to give it to you. They will give it to the child, but they have to be sure that they are giving it to the right person. Now, once you can provide all of these documents I have mentioned, and you are willing and ready and available to attend the interview, I can assure you that Ubano British passport amano. And see, we are almost post passport so Eddie call Ghana. Yeah, family papa wa we post the British High Commission Ghana. Na my email and my friend say my friend is uncle enkoji abufani British passport no. Nti okojia Ubano okra British passport. Oba ha no what on a ticket. What on a ticket amano? Uncle koji visa biabio. Oba as a British citizen. So this is how you can apply for British passport for your child. If you have a British citizenship by naturalization and you give birth to a child outside the UK, your child is automatically a British citizen under Section 2 of the British Nationality Act 1981. DJ, that is it. Who are any questions there with me?
Okay, all right. Lawyer, better say more questions. No more to be there, numbers in the good screen. So no question be up. So ubisana. Ubeti me there, voice note and answer there. I mean, also a few comments there, but ubeti me the comments about. Mamon China as a kopon and sana. More questions in the baba. But I mean, bisa after when ya menim say. After when ya passport nama obano so obano in the UK when ya man lawyer or Ghana hano. Who ukra British passport now 2 kwan bia wa Ghana na akola wa na obano wa ha ebia ne maame no onyo no Ghanaian no onyo nkra British book ni papa ne kra British book na akola no wo ne nchen wa ha na then obetimi so renew the visa na so no come njiba direct obetimi atena sa at the time of pana. And I saw, yes, Okoba.
Debbie. Sir, any papa, Ghanaian. Abofrano to Okra British passport because of Nimame, UK. Abofrano for British passport. Abofrano Bar, the questions are two. One, OJ visa, I want a British passport, Mona or the buyer, and now or the Ghana passport, and a D2 fine a call.
Or the British passport they buy, yeah.
Okay. And see, it says OJ visa, I want a British passport, Mona or the foyer.
Yeah.
In that case, send a visa and a as I said, always with the Ghana immigration offices to renew the visa for them. But minimum being 1 year renewal no, for a long time. But Ghana also took they had to issue a visa at the airport and then they charged them for the period now. Now in Canada, visa now 1 year, they had to do that for them. But I would advise that the visa extend it for maybe a year or 2 or more so that the child doesn't have to have any problems if they want to come back to the UK.
Okay, all right. More questions be am fambra na wa mama pon nyama ka tem say channel we so no. Yeah, the idea ba be boa mo anye k. More questions be obesa obisa na send a voice note bra ana say we. I think say questions be am no anye. Okay, we mu die. Fa ade o kan no. I think say maybe omo different thing mo no mo bisa. Okay, lawyer, I take you here.
Please, can you apply? Hello, Emmanuel Amua. Can you apply for UK passport after 5 in UK? Well, the question is not complete, but I will look at it the way I understand it. Adrian, can you apply for UK passport after 5 years in the UK? After 5 years in the UK, it all depends. It all depends. Now, sir, we obi awawari waba. Na wabeka ukuno ana uyire ho na after 2.5 years, another 2.5 years, when you're indefinite. If that is the case, you can apply for British citizenship straight away because the ukuno ana uyire na wawari no or you're British citizen. The requirement period for the required period for residency is 3 years. I'll take it slowly. Hey, dear, what worry British citizen. What backroom ha? Yama 2.5 years. What's another 2.5 years? I get a total of 5 years. So when you 5 years, maybe you go for your indefinite. So when you're indefinite and now, a China your application for British citizenship because who can a British citizen. Now to say, nipa na waware no onye British, okra indefinite leave to remain. And no, we 5 years no now we indefinitely we are as a set we train for another 1 year and sana what to make your application for your British citizenship. As a son your British passport citizen certificate set before you go for the British passport. So yes, it is possible to apply for British passport after 5 years, depending on the category in which you fall. Age will be also by with skilled worker as a tier 2 worker, either as a health and care worker or as a doctor or as a specialist in IT field, etc., etc. If that is the case, then theirs is 5 years. After 5 years, you go for indefinite. 1 year after that, you can go for your British citizenship. So the answer to your question is, it is possible, but it depends on the category in which you are.
Okay, or none of the way by rapid and no up.
Okay, so can the child still apply for British citizenship if he or she is above 18 years old? The fact is, if you are British, you are British. If you are British, you are British. Now, what this form is saying, the form OS is saying application for British passport. It does not say if you are more than 18 or less than 18. And I will share from this one. It says if the child is more than 16 years and above, then the parents will have to sign, they have to sign themselves. So yes, the fact that you haven't applied does not take away the fact that you are a British citizen by virtue of your father being a British citizen at the time you were born. Yeah. David Bosman, can you apply for a British passport for your child in a British embassy outside the UK? I suppose that may be possible, but you still have to complete the form anyway. It may be possible, but you still have to complete the form anyway. I am not too certain about that, so I would advise you to approach the embassy, that is British Embassy outside the UK, and inquire from them. What I am aware of is the Form OS that has to be completed to support the application with the other supporting documents. Aubrey Ejirifo, can an undocumented person have a child with a person on a working visa or career and gain documents through the child? Mr. Aubrey, and I'm Mr. Ejirifo, yes. It is possible that a person who has no documents, an undocumented person, say, when they obia over UK with or as a skilled worker, when they work, abofrano, ne mame, ebeji the same assistant and ne mame no one, ne mame no beji assistant amani bananso. And the assuming say ne mame no 2.5 years and 2 years, or no, so wa already 2 years amani bananso. Over 3 years, sir, already 3 years amani bananso. Wa we are papa na woni assistant. So when they will ban communication and only will ban contact, of course, once will better me a application based on your child, but that application will be outside the immigration rules. Let me emphasize, it will be outside the immigration rules because your child is not 70 years old, your child is not a British citizen, your child is not settled. So the application will fall outside the rules. The rule is the child has to be British, the child has to be settled, or the child has to be 7 years. That is the law. So once the child is not a British, the child is not settled, the child is not 7 years, it means the application will be outside the law, and then you're friendly outside the immigration rules. It is possible if you do it well and you add all the supporting documents, and it is a very strong application, you can be successful in that application. Akwesi Jacobo, who is overseas visitors to England? Does it include general visitor? Of course, a visitor is a visitor. So we have family visitors, we have general visitors, we have someone who is coming as a tourist. So you are an overseas visitor. Of course, as long as you are a visitor, you are a visitor. It doesn't matter whether it is categorized as a tourist or family visit or any other category. A visitor is one as such. Is
Okay.
there another one?
Let me take this.
Derek Ezua. I'm 25 years old in the UK. My dad is a citizen, but I am not. Can he file for me now? Well, 25 years, you are an adult. If you are 25 years, you are an adult. So the only way or the only time a child who is an adult can depend on their parents is if there is something we call a more than normal child and parent relationship. If there is a more than normal child and parent relationship. When I say more than normal, what does that mean? It means that hey, dear papa untiapo, una ushano, una udiniko GP for treatment or call hospital, una ukane home, nidiane una unia, una ujare no, una udiniko bibia, everything, the medication, una ukokoji. Without you, he cannot do anything. So Sanet here, there is a case called the case of Kugata. Kugathas. It's a case law which went to court. That case law says if there is a more than normal parent-child relationship, where the child is the one that does everything for the parent, then it is possible for the child to apply based on the parent. Even though the child is more than 18 years, they can apply based on the parent. But if there is no such thing, then I'm sorry, it is not possible for your parents to file for you. in this case?
Okay, so far no, I think say Wemunaba Ebiana, they are okay with whatever you brought today. Because me who questions be different. Omo can hear a shout out to but lawyer need details na good screen so it is here na Ebiana o pese uhiana for further we be and the numbers in the good screen so no bet me apeke. So me catch almost say man for questions number there me the by say on make sure one or two things. It is I think say me who say more emotion no we okay. We okay there na just say medal lawyers na me jan so obibi opese o kan dia. I mean we say then lawyer ntie we.
James Amwakunsapong and say, hello, good evening. Please, what if I come as a visitor and overstay? Can I find a job to do? well, DJ Yami, if you're coming as a visitor, you are coming as a visitor. See, because what Rom said, Uba Abesraha, no one sign Ako. So if that is the case, Uber do heavy now see a cream fair, a higher fair, abrichere fair. Straight no sunny. There is no untarred road. Everything is clean. Udu bus stop for 2 minutes, not bus but 5 minutes, not bus but Udu train station, Bibia Daniquem. Bibia pepe. When it's a chicken and chips, cry £1 cry when you did. Just a higher fair. Upe say Utina Krumpa. Not China will be any war. It is possible that you can regularize in another category. You can regularize in another category. There are different categories. I don't know if we've done that already, but I will look
at question James Amo Asapon.
Yeah.
America say call back to the videos, you know. Some answers, you know, yeah, massa answers and that. But if you all touch 1 2 1 2 beer.
So you can come. Yes, you can come. I am a lawyer. I will not tell you to overstay. But if you decide to overstay and you come and see a lawyer, I know the advice to give you that this is what you have to do, this is what you don't have to do, and then until you regularize your stay according to the provisions of the law or in accordance with the rules of the UK. So that is what it is. David Bosman, how can a British who lives in a foreign country apply for British passport for his or her child born outside the UK? Well, this is where I suppose that the embassy will come in. So if you're a British citizen, you are outside the UK, you have given birth to a child outside the UK, it is possible to apply for the British passport for the child. Please liaise, somebody asked a while ago, please liaise with the embassy in that country how to apply. If they insist that you have to apply using the form OS, then you can use the form OS. But if they have a form for you to use in the embassy, then of course you can make that application in that country for your child. Because you are British, but you are outside and you want to apply for your child's British passport outside the UK. So please go to the embassy, speak to them. If there is a form, they will let you have it. If there is no form, then you have to use the form OS. Form OS for the application for the child.
Say akola so ni Ghana na ne passport ne sa kana expire obetimi so
I renew. The renewal is there. Obetimi aye Ghana ho. The renewal you can renew.
Embassy na
yes, please. Local embassy, they'll take care of everything for you, and it is possible. I know the situation where a friend of mine, Nani Bane or Ghana, the passport expired. He renewed it in the British embassy in Ghana. On one he was still in Ghana he was a bank manager in Ghana somewhere. He just went and renewed it in Ghana. The same thing happens to U.S. embassies. If you're a U.S. citizen, your passport expires, you go to the embassy to renew everything for you. And Tenudia is not a big deal at all. I'm going renew at the amount.
Okay, nice one. Lawyer, our last message, and I say, then I better work because I think say, I mean take it away na the by there. I'm some money heavy questions be a man. I'll be cool with or not so far?
DJ Nyame Fatu, when you so say, if listeners have any particular topics in terms of immigration they want us to address, maybe ABI can't, but a being to special way they want us to address, they can also let us have that, and then we will be more than happy to.
Okay.
Emmanuel Amoa said, can you visit an African country if you are a UK citizen? Of course, you can visit anywhere in the world if you are a UK citizen. Yeah, SSO said, wouldn't that country's passport, then you need to get a visa for that country. Example, say, let me use myself as an example. Assuming that me Ghana passport and I UK passport. Nasa me Ghana. Of course, I can decide to use my Ghana passport, or I can decide to use my British passport. If I decide to use my British passport, then I need to go for a visa in my passport. If I need to use my Ghana passport, then I can decide to use my Ghana passport to Ghana. Maybe back, then I use my British passport. So it depends on the circumstance. Now, if you are going to a country which is not your own country, then in that case, you would have to obtain a visa for that country. You have to obtain a visa for that country. Example, me call South Africa. I'm not from South Africa. I don't have a South African passport. So I need to get a visa for that country. If British citizens have to get a visa to that country. If British citizens don't need a visa to that country, I don't get a visa. I just take my British passport, buy my ticket, and I go. If the country is one where I need to get a visa, of course, I need to get a visa to go to that country. So it depends on the circumstances.
Blair, British passport, countries when I visa.
It's quite a few countries, but I need to, that I can put on board next week. Make go, and I'll get all the countries you don't need visa for. US is one. There's something we call ESTA, Electronic Systems Travel Authorization. Ubacon online, you complete the form, submit it, they give you the certificate for, I think it's for 2 years or so. And then the amount of certificate now, passport, so what will take it, you go. I think US, Canada, Australia, and some other countries, you don't need visa to go to those countries if you are a British citizen, you hold a British passport. But next week, no, I'll give you the full list of countries where you don't need a visa to go to those countries.
All right, you better lawyer, wisdom akao, you better na sepa say Fridays biano, otiminya, adaje, ani ebeye sa teaching, so cheche immigration matters, why smart solicitors, aha. See how the maybe more pie, just market view. See how the maybe more pie, office no, my call twice. So I'm saying in the interview now, me call in China, London, and me call your interviews. I mean, I interviews, I mean, maybe all Dustin Market. It's side McDonald's view or down on Antibo Street. One has about address, no.
Yo, that's it. Number 8 to 9, the Prince House. 8 to 9, the Prince House. 18 to 22, Ashwin Street. Dalston, London, E8 3DL. E8 3DL. You were behind the McDonald's. Event Dalston Market, no. Just the McDonald's is very close to the Dalston Market, and we are behind the McDonald's. A very huge building there. Michelle, one of the offices more. Number 8 to 9. Actually, it is number 7, 8, and 9, the Prince House. Now we have 3 offices within this building. So number 7, 8, and 9, the Prince House.
Nice one.
McDonald's, yeah.
And the website www.ysmartsolicitors.com, right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. DJ, there is something me boss to. It's with regards to me honsa nipa bebre, especially emano bebre ewo Ghana. Omumaye British citizens. And omuba British citizen. Papa na ba oni wa benyim one year British passport, I'm able to but my many able to the Omo Ghana. The question is, how many percent over UK ha? How can she come to the UK to stay in the UK with the child?
Wow.
Obey then Abba UK ha to stay in the UK with the child. Nyame Aduma, it is possible, but Nyame Aduma, if you're next week, measure that aspect if we haven't looked at that already. If we haven't, I don't know if we've treated that topic already. If not, I'll look at how the mother whose child is a British citizen, she is living in Ghana with the child. How can she come to the UK to live with the child in the UK? I will show you the strategy, how to go about it, and I'm sure that only abu fani beba na onu sabe tina krom happy. Mama ni bansua mkwa ebe faso edi anya krata ama ono nso no ne nyina no nyame aduma me dia no betu eja.
Okay, so I think that we have this one already. I live outside the UK with my child, who is a British citizen. How can I go and live in the UK with my child?
Oh, great! We have treated that, so they can go back to the tape and look at it.
Yeah, we have that video.
I will recap it briefly, and then we go on to maybe another topic, which is most likely marriage of convenience. Marriage of convenience. But you and I will decide which topic to put up next week, or you can send me whatever topic you want me to look at. I am more than happy to look at it, and I'll be
so lawyer say another two open say the beach one is topic be important. How he say yembra nanya I'll answer to it. Obetimi the obetimi WhatsApp me wo me numbers na screen so no WhatsApp SVTV na ya hwe say yebetimi aye bibi afa ho anti no problem obetimi WhatsApp me na ya hwe say yebetimi a discuss ya ni nyina no na yebetimi ahwe maybe moving to settle in UK from another country. Minim says I don't yebetimi to say na ebia
okay.
Country, ebia European country, America, na bibisa.
Professor Baba settle. Okay. I don't see. We look at the procedure, application over here, Ubeba, up to when you get the extension, up to when you get settlement, and then from there you proceed to the to the UK citizenship. Yes, we can look at the timeline from start to the British citizenship. I can look at that as well. So you just send me the topic. I am more than happy to.
Okay, Kofi Abi says, can I call a lawyer, please? I have a personal problem.
Personal
problem. So you can call. Okay, so lawyer Wisdom Akao, you better say Godfrey Apraku Bonsu, say good input as always. Nice one. Thank you so much. Number one fan, Power Share SBTV Africa. Big shout out to you, boss.
Thank you.
Godfrey Apreku Bonsu. Then I said, they be an comment na comment not the love. Try back on the love I show. Try back on love emoji. You better say, the family DJ Nyame. Lawyer, you better say pass unya mrema. I mean, I do my next week. You better be me. I bet you so.
Mate.
5:30. Mama 10 next week, no catch up. No prepare more questions. No answer. But me have friend the details. The good screen so no. But me I was happy.
Sir, Obiwo questions from maybe previous topics they are treating. Not say area one year response no, and now 1 year one year response now. They can also chip it in. Your timer will look at that after your topic now.
Okay, nice one.
I'm friend from China, from a bit friend from Dubai, from all over the country. I just want to say thank you very much. I appreciate it. God richly bless you. Papa, big friend from China, and he's a good man. He was so much. He really admires DJ Nyame. He really admires you.
Nice one. God bless you. Nice one. You better say David Bossman. I'll say very educative. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to say show also there. Yeah, the ever boy and ever. But Brennan too. Obako a connection man. You can't move some boy. You go there and they go tell you somebody chop my money. Somebody chop my money. Until it is on tempo. Now on your idea be on pet. My people will not like this one. Oh, plenty people will not like this one. Be few. So, Brony no. Any I say reading, you be brain and pay reading. They are the same thing. And don't find it out. It's your qua. I'm going to. I'm going.
Yeah.
Now you're calling you.
Yeah.
Connection. Anytime. Charlie, you better say, you say, DJ Click Sharon, over show, so my numbers, the good screen, so no bet me, I was up me, 0240677898, and 0244790902. And one know, over so by me show, so I'm not www.jmillerbeauty.com. Choose our website in a call. Next video or app. Next video. Subscribe na next video. If you have video for upload the channel, so subscribe na mumbo on the road na channel nkweche. Unim say the voice of the community. Say na me sika no. Unim obi a ofi abrocha be business wa ha. Yes, me ni abroche fo akasa me pomo be business wa Ghana. Makosra omo. Business be they will be restaurant to whatever you open, whatever. My numbers no 0244790902 and 0240677898. For my numbers, for my number no Emma the Pacrono, or there was a kind of WhatsApp me. I would WhatsApp me keke. No WhatsApp me. My number na that screen so no 0244790902. Or there only be a business be or happy and no the online care. Yabakosra no. Needing come the type of business you want to say any idea then into one more link here. Anyway, Madam Ansamusha SBTV Africa. Your friend DJ Nyame. Tua Makramo. So I only umia one time. Now it is see what I say.